Everybody, welcome back to Talkin to Jake. Hope we're all doing well. Before we get to my bracket, we're gonna talk some more baseball classic and then some football. We got free agency signings are continuing to fly off the board. Yesterday, you had Venezuela beat Nicaragua 4-1. So Venezuela was 3-0, Nicaragua was 0-4. Canada shuts out Colombia 5-0. Canada goes to 2-1. Colombia drops to 1-2. The DR shuts out Israel 10-0. DR goes to 2-1. Israel drops to 1-2. And Mexico beats Great Britain 2-1. Mexico goes to 2-1. Great Britain goes to 1-3. Today, we already had a game today. It already ended. Cuba beat Australia 4-3. That was the first game those two teams played. Cuba's 1-0, Australia's 0-1. Of course, the time difference in those countries is enormous, so that's why the game is already over. I just started. I'm beginning to film this at just past 11 o'clock in the morning here in Connecticut. So that's what I have for World Baseball Classic tonight at 10. Is the United States against Colombia. United States has got to win that. They want to have a shot of advancing at a pool play. All right, let's talk some NFL for agency. First off, over the break when I took a break from the show, we had a couple of deaths, unfortunately. Longtime Carolina Panthers owner Joe Richardson passed away at the age of 86, and Hall of Fame Vikings head coach Bud Grant passed away as well. So, condolences to them. New York Jets sign out Lazard, 4 years, $44 million, with $22 million guaranteed. I think Jets might have overpaid a little bit for Lazard. I mean, I do like Lazard joining my Jets. He's a solid second or third receiver. Look at the receiving core. You got Garrett Wilson, who's a running off the rookie of the year. Now you have Lazard. You have Elijah Moore, who's healthy and his head's on straight. We know his chance to be a very special player. Denzel Mims had a little better year last year. So they got a really nice receiving core now. Obviously, they're trying to bring in Aaron Rodgers. In the Cowboys make a trade. They trade a 5th-round pick for Stephon Gilmore. So Stephon Gilmore is not the player he wants, but still a decent cover corner. Dallas need a number 2 corner next to Trayvon Diggs, and they get it. They also re-signed Donovan Wilson for 3 years, $24 million is a pretty good save. And they also re-signed Leighton Vander Esch, 2 years, $11 million. That's a nice signing for Vander Esch. That's good value. He had the best year since his rookie year last year. Stayed mostly healthy. And we had a big trade. The New York Giants acquire All-Pro tight end from the Raiders, Darren Waller, for a 3rd-round pick. The 3rd-round pick they got for Kadarius Toney from Kansas City, they sent to the Raiders for Darren Waller. I don't understand why. Might have been some tension between him and Josh McDaniel. I don't know. They were trying to talk extension. The talks didn't go very well. And also, so supposedly McDaniel's leaked because Darren Waller just got married to women's basketball star Kelsey Plum. Apparently, he leaked the info that he was getting married to the media, and the war didn't like that. And I saw some tweet saying oh yeah, Darren Waller just gets married, and then Josh McDaniels traded into the Giants. He's not a romantic. And Kelsey Plum, his wife, replied, maybe because he was not invited to the wedding, LOL. So clearly they were not the great relationship there. And I don't blame Darren Waller. McDaniels is probably the worst coach in the league, probably one of the most head coaches ever. But Darren Waller was a Giants' huge pickup for the New York Giants, only giving him a 3rd-round pick for one of the league's best tight ends. Gives Daniel Jones a big target that he truly needs. And the Eagles re-signed James Bradbury, 3 years, $38 million, worth up to $44 million, $20 million guaranteed. Good job by the Eagles getting that done. They also re-signed Boston Scott, 1 year, $2 million. No one's the Giant caliber. When he plays for Giants, he goes off, so he'll continue to be a part of their backfield. They also signed Rashad Penny onto what's probably, I assume, is going to be a 1-year deal. When healthy, he's really good, but he's never been healthy from a first round by the Seahawks. My guess is that Miles Sanders is probably going to leave now. Now, if you re-sign Scott and you bring in Penny, and you also have Kenneth Gainwell there, but we shall see what happens. Big news: Eagles just cut Darius Slay, 5-time All-Pro corner, one of the best corners in the league. They were looking to trade him. They let him seek a trade, but they still didn't want to keep him because of salary purposes. Now they cut him probably because they realize they need more cap space. probably couldn't find a trade partner, so they decided to cut him. It's a huge name hitting the open market. That is huge. But Dallas Cowboys, they're releasing Ezekiel Elliott about 2 years too late. I've been saying this for a couple of years now, but they have cut Ezekiel Elliott, so he will hit the open market. Yeah, Samson Ukebom goes to the Colts, 3 years, 27 million. He's a solid pass rusher. Had 5 sacks last year for the Niners. Been with Niners the last couple of years. So he'll be in the pass rusher mix in Indianapolis. Falcons re-signed Caleb McGarry, their right tackle. 3 years, 34.5 million. It's a really nice signing for the Falcons. I thought McGarry would get more than that. They get him for about 11.5 million a year. I thought he would get close to 14, 15, 16 million a year. He's a really good young right tackle. He's gotten better every year from a first-round draft pick. Nice signing by Atlanta. Carolina adds Amy Dalton, 2 years, 10 million, up to 17 million, 8 million guaranteed to he'll be the backup to whoever they draft first overall. Dolphins re-signed Jeff Wilson, 2-year deal for up to 8.2 million. So Mostert and Jeff Wilson are back in Miami. Good job on Miami bringing back those two backs. They both fit their offense very well because both played McDaniel's offense in San Francisco as well. Those two guys are back. Vikings re-signed Garrett Bradbury, their center, 3 years, 50.7 million. This one I didn't really get. I don't really have a problem with the money. A little over 5 million. They get that much money, but remember, he hasn't really fit what they do because Vikings are a pass first offense when Mike Zimmer was still there. Maybe because they ran the ball much more, and Bradbury's a pretty good run blocker, but he's not a good pass blocker. But now under Stefanski, you saw last year how much more of a pass happy offense they were. And he doesn't fit what they do, so I didn't really get that one, to be honest. Broncos pick up Samaje Perine, 2 years, 7.5 million. This is a really good under the radar signing. Perine had a really nice year for the Bengals last year. He's emerged a really good number 2 fill-in starter for the Bengals last couple years. Probably earned a starting job. Denver back. Javonte Williams might miss the start of the year coming off a torn ACL. So they had a guy in Perine who could step in and start for a bunch of games if he needs to. Then he could be a sound, really nice number 2 option once Javonte comes back. Arizona adds Kaiser White, 2 years, 9 million to boost their linebacking core. He's pretty good. Re-signing Will Hernandez, 2 years, 9 million. He was a little bit better last year. It was horrible with Giants. He was a little better last year. He's a decent starter. Also re-signed the right tackle Kevin Beachum to a 2-year deal. I don't know if I love what Arizona was doing, to be honest. Will Hernandez, I don't think is that good. He was a little better last year, but Beachum's pretty good. But the thing is, look, they appear to be bringing back the same exact offensive line. That was one of the worst units in the league last year. I don't know how smart that is. Bears add Robert Spillane, 2 years, 9 million. He's a decent linebacker. Bears needs as much help on defense as they can get. Lions add Emmanuel Mosley, 1 year, 6 million. So Lions obviously got to improve that defense. They have now added a couple of corners. On the first day, for instance, they had Cam Sutton from Pittsburgh on a 3-year deal. Now you have Emmanuel Mosley. He's pretty good. He comes over. Sierra's son does Devonta KZ 2-year deal. He gets some depth in their secondary. Also re-signing Larry Ogunhobi, 3 years, 28.7 million. So he's a nice run stuffer that they get back. 49ers re-signed Jake Brendel, 4 years, 20 million with 8 million guaranteed. He's their center. Seattle adds Jaron Reed, 2 years, 10.8 million. Reed started his career in Seattle. He's bounced around since then. And his second stint with Seattle will be starting next year. He's a very good D tackle, really good run stuffer, can push the pocket a little bit. And 1 year in Seattle, he had like 11 or 12 or 14 sacks a bunch of years back. So he's a very good player. This is interesting. The Lions signed David Montgomery, 3 years, 18 million. So Montgomery, when he's healthy, he's a really good back. Has trouble staying healthy. When he's healthy, he's really good. I'm hearing Jamal Williams might not re-sign now. The Bills are in on him because they need the back. I think they're on the fence. We're going to have to bring back Devin Singletary. If they don't bring him back, they could pivot to Jamal Williams, who's I think is a major upgrade over Devin Singletary anyway. Cincinnati's looking at him. Got Joe Mixon possibly in legal trouble. I heard he could be a salary cap casualty. Now Perine's gone. I know at one point the Jets name was in the hat, but I haven't heard too much about that. They don't need a running back anyway. So what happens? Vikings add Byron Murphy, 2 years, 22 million. Nice sign for Minnesota. They need a lot of secondary help, and now they get it with Byron Murphy. He's always been a good slot corner, but he proved last year that he can be a good, valuable outside corner as well. It's a nice sign. He's a good young corner. Chiefs add Charles Amenu, 2 years, 20 million. They'll get some depth with their pass rush. The Saints have restructured Michael Thomas's contract, so it's a 1-year deal. worth. He'll make $10 million this year, possibly revert up to $15 million. And in 2024, if he's on the roster on the third day of a league year, he'll have a $32 million roster bonus that will kick in. That's guaranteed. So if he can stay healthy and have a really good year, it's a guy who last time he was healthy in 2019 set the record for receptions in a season by a receiver. Had emerged as the best receiver in football, arguably. Last 3 years, he's only played like 8 games. He's not been able to stay healthy. He's getting in fights with his teammates and coaches. It's been a wild ride for Michael Thomas. So if he gets hurt again or doesn't produce enough, he'll probably be cut. He'll probably cut after 2023. But if he's able to stay healthy, have a big year, maybe he'll be back in 2024. But he'll be back with the Saints in 2023. Colts cut Matt Ryan finally. Yeah, he has not said whether he wants to retire or not. He may still play. We'll see. Gives the Colts $17 million in cap space. For the Bills, restructured Josh Allen and Von Miller's deal, saving them $32 million in cap space. Bills need that. They are very short on cap space. Chargers re-signed the right tackle Trey Pipkins on a 3-year deal. Don't know what the financial terms yet. And they cut one of their guards, Matt Filer, saves them $6.5 million against the cap, $2.5 million dead cap charge. So they decided to keep Pipkins, but not keep Matt Filer on the offensive line. Texans caught A.J. Cam, one of their guards from last year. Commanders got J.D. McKissick, who's a very good pass catching back, and has had a nice little run there, but don't think was needed anymore. You got Brian Robinson for the running back of the future there. You got Tanner Gibson, who can also catch the ball. He's a good kick returner. There wasn't a need for J.D. McKissick. Obviously they're going into a new offense with Eric Bieniemy as the offensive coordinator. Maybe didn't fit the offense. And Hayden Hurst goes to Carolina. He's a solid tight end. He's a really cool story. He was he was playing college. He was a college baseball player. He had some sort of major injury or something, so he wasn't able to play baseball. Then he tried out college football as a tight end, and he was really good. So he actually did not get drafted until he was 25 years old. So first pick by the Ravens. Never really got a shot there. His first year he got hurt, a lot of injuries, and then Mark Andrews, they took him a third round that year, just came out of nowhere and emerged as a star in this league. Then he was in Atlanta. He was pretty good in Atlanta. And then they drafted Kyle Pitts. So again, 2 years ago, didn't really get a chance. But last year, the Bengals, he caught flew in the radar. Had a pretty nice year for the Bengals last year. Carolina adds him on a 4-year deal. That gets him a nice safety blanket for whoever they draft first overall. And then he is much help in the receiving corps they can get. Only the receiver they have, TJ Moore, they traded him to the Bears. So that's what we got for NFL free agency. So I can't believe that Darius Slay got cut by the Eagles. That's crazy. It'd be interesting to see where he goes. Still a bunch of quarter needy teams in this league. Before I get to my bracket, we got the first 2 games. We had the 16 seed Texas A&M Corpus Christi. They beat Southern Missouri State 75-71. Jackson adds 22 points in that one. So that they move on to the tournament. I think they'll play Alabama. Yeah, they'll play Alabama, I believe. And with 2 11 seeds, Pitt beats Mississippi State 60-59. Mississippi State had a wide open 3 in the final seconds, but they missed, and then they had like a tap in at the end, not go. So great game, but Pittsburgh wins. They will play Iowa State in the first round. So tonight we got two more first 4 games, 2 16 seed games. Fairleigh Dickinson, who got the auto bid, they came out of the NEC against Texas Southern, who 14-20, but they got the auto bid. Tied for the most losses of a team that's in the tournament or the first 4 ever. That's at 640 on True TV and at 9:10 on True TV, and 11 battle between Arizona State and Nevada. I believe the winner plays. I don't remember, but good news is I'm about to reveal my bracket. So I'm gonna reveal my bracket. And yeah, if you don't like my picks, I don't really care. So here we go. We got Alabama against Texas A&M Corpus Christi. I'm obviously picking Alabama. Number 8, Maryland against number 9, West Virginia. I'm taking West Virginia. Virginia, if you look at their record, it doesn't look anything like over the top great. That being said, they kind of got lost in the Big 12. The Big 12 was really tough this year. It's the best conference in college basketball. There's so many great teams. You had Kansas, defending champs, Baylor, Texas is, you have a lot of top teams in this conference or from in this tournament rather are from the Big 12. So I think if West Virginia, once they start playing, outside of the Big 12, I think they'll look a little bit better than they did this season. So team like Maryland, I think they should be able to handle no problem. I have them winning. Number 5, San Diego State against number 12, Charleston. I'm gonna take San Diego State. I do think Charleston has some upset potential. If they drew a little better match, I think I may have had them winning. But I do like San Diego State. They are one of the most experienced teams in this field. They're very good defensively. I'm taking San Diego State. Number 4, Virginia against number 13, Furman. This is my first big upset. I got Furman winning. I really like Furman. They shoot the lights out. I like Virginia. They're very good. They're very good defensively. They're always in this tournament. They've had their ups and downs. Obviously, you lose to a 16 seed, and then the year after they won the national championship, they seem to always be here as one of the higher seed. They always seem to be in the mix. But I got Furman in the big upset. We got number 6 Creighton against number 11 North Carolina State. I'm actually gonna take North Carolina State. North Carolina State's kind of a weird team. They're a team, if they can hit their shots, they're very dangerous. If not, they'll probably one and done. I'll say you get the good version of NC State, and I say they knock off Creighton in an upset. Number 3, Baylor against number 14, UCSB. I'm taking Baylor. UCSB is a team that is rolling right now, but they really haven't played anybody. I'm not even sure if they've even played any ranked team this year. May have played one ranked team. There is not battle tested, and Baylor is also really, really good. The three against 14. Very rare do you see the 14 seed win that. Number 7 Missouri against number 10 Utah State. I don't think Utah State deserves to be in the tournament. That being said, there is always one team I feel like in every year that didn't deserve to get in. I thought Rutgers should have been in. I thought they should have been in over Utah State, and even a couple of our teams I thought Rutgers should have been in over. There's always one team that probably shouldn't have made a tournament on paper. Probably should have just been in the last 4 out, and they get the last bye or like the last 4 out, or they sneak in as a 10 seed, something like that. Like last year, Michigan probably shouldn't have even been on. Shouldn't have been in, and they went and they snuck in the first 4, and they ended up going all the way to the Sweet 16. I think it was like 11 or a 12 seed. But I do have Missouri winning this game. I think Missouri is a decent team. I was like Missouri, and I got number 2 Arizona being number 15 Princeton. I don't see a freaking Ivy League team competing with the best team in the Pac-12. Okay, I got Purdue, where they play FDU or Texas Southern. They're gonna blow that out of the water. FDU plays in the worst conference in college basketball, the NEC, where Sacred Heart University, where I go, plays. Or Texas Southern is 6 games below 500. Purdue should win by probably 40. Number 8, Memphis against number 9, Florida Atlantic. This is a really tough one. Both these teams are really good. This might honestly be the best game of the first round. I was split on this one, but I'm gonna take Memphis. I think if either team had like both teams, if they drew an easier matchup, I think I would probably have both winning, and both could possibly could be have Cinderella potential. I'm gonna go with Memphis. I like what Penny Hardaway's doing there. I'll take Memphis in what should be a great game. These 8-9s are always really close. It's basically a coin flip. I'll take Memphis. Number 5 Duke is number 12 Oral Roberts. I'm going with Duke. I do really like Oral Roberts. Remember them from 2 years ago, the 15 seed went all the way to the Sweet 16, beat number 2 Ohio State in the first round, and the year after the round after they beat Florida. It's another team. If they drew a little better matchup, I would have had them. I think I would have had them winning in an upset. But Duke is hot at the right time. They were a team that was up and down this year. Obviously, first year without Coach K, but they're hot right now. They ended up made a great run, and they ended up actually winning the ACC tournament. They're hot. I'm gonna take Duke. You got number 4 Tennessee is number 13 Louisiana. I got a big upset here. I got Louisiana beating Tennessee. I like the Raging Cajun. I think they got some sneaky upset potential. Tennessee's a very good team. They're really good defensively, but I'm taking Louisiana in a big upset. Number 6 Kentucky is number 11 Providence. I'm taking Kentucky. I don't think Kentucky is obviously last year they were a 2 seed and they lost to St. Peter's, a 15 seed who will not went to the Elite Eight. Too bad St. Peter's is not in it this year. I don't think they're this juggernaut. I don't have them going. I don't think they have a deep run in them, but I do think they beat Providence. Number 3 Kansas State against number 14 Montana State. I got Kansas State winning. Kansas State's really good. 3rd team out of a really good Big 12. I got them winning. Number 7 Michigan State against number 10 USC. I got USC winning. I don't love the way Michigan State is entering the tournament. You blow that game against Iowa and losing to Penn State in your first game in the Big 10 tournament. I mean, Penn State had a great run in that tournament. They were a team that hadn't been very good all year, and they went all the way to the Big 10 final. Only lost by 2 points to Purdue. Almost came back and won that game. Willed their way into the tournament. I just don't love the way they're playing, so I'll take USC. And number 2 Marquette against number 15 Vermont. I got Marquette. Marquette, the Big East champions. Don't be fooled from the Big East. In fact, that probably makes them even more dangerous because you got all these Big 10, Big 12, SEC teams. They have a lot to play for. These Big East teams, they got nothing to lose. They got nothing to lose. You never know. In that Big East, one year you could be really good. They may not have a shot, to be a top seed for another another decade. You don't know. So I think Marquette's a dangerous team. I have them being Vermont. So that was the South and then the East region. Let's go over to the Midwest. Number 1 Houston, definitely beating Northern Kentucky in the first round, of course. Number 8 Iowa against number 9 Auburn. This is a typical 8-9 game, basically a coin flip. Iowa's a team that's great offensively, but not so great defensively. Auburn's a little more defensive minded. I'll take Auburn. They say defense wins championships. I'll take Auburn. Number 5 Miami against number 12 Drake. I'm taking Miami. Miami's a real good squad. I got Miami. Number 4 Indiana against number 13 Kent State. In a major upset, I actually got Kent State winning this game. I didn't love how Indiana looked in the Big Ten tournament. I'm going to take Kent State in a major upset. Number 6 Iowa State against number 11 Pitt. I got Iowa State winning. Iowa State's a very good team. Another team that kind of didn't really look into too much because they were like kind of stuck in that Big 12. Pitt, I don't really think is that great. They barely got out of that first 4 game. If they made that shot, if Mississippi State had made that shot, wide open 3 from the corner, and then got one of their 2 tap-ins right at the rim as time expired to go in, Pitt would have been sitting on their couch. So like Iowa State winning. Number 3 Xavier against number 14 Kennesaw State. I got Xavier. Xavier is very good. I got them winning. Number 7 Texas A&M against number 10 Penn State. Penn State's hot. They're a team that went from probably on the outside looking in and great run in the Big Ten tournament all the way to the Big Ten championship game. Almost beat Purdue, who's probably already a top 3 team in this tournament. Almost by 2. A great comeback late in the game. Fell just short. But Texas A&M is also a very good team. They're a team that may have a shot at a deep run. Could be a possible Cinderella, so I'll take Texas A&M. Number 2 Texas, I have being number 15 Colgate. The last 2 years, Colgate was like a 13 or a 14. In both years, I was like, damn, this team doesn't miss a single shot. I had them winning in both times that they lost. They're weird. They literally can only hit 3-point shots. But behind the 3-point line, they do not miss. They can't make anything up. They can't make a mid-range free throws. They don't play defense. All I can do is hit threes. Also, Texas is also an excellent team. Going to the West, top seed Kansas. I have them being number 16 Howard. Nothing to really see there. Number 8 Arkansas against number 9 Illinois. Another typical coin flip 8-9 game. This should be a really good game. I got Illinois winning. Illinois is a very good team. I'll take them in that one. Number 5, St. Mary's against number 12, VCU. I'm actually going to take VCU. I like VCU. I think they're a good team. You know, St. Mary's had a really nice year. You know, they actually were they finished first in the in that West Coast Conference ahead of Gonzaga, but you know earlier they beat Gonzaga, but then the last 2 times they played them, they got smacked by Gonzaga. I don't really know how battle tested they truly are. That's kind of the reason that Gonzaga every year looks like the best team in the conference. Looks like, I mean, the best team in the entire tournament, arguably, and then they lose in the second or third round. They're just not battle tested enough in some years. So I think St. Mary's is also obviously in the same conference as Gonzaga. I'll take VCU in an upset. Number 4, UConn against number 13, Iona. I think this will be a really close game. Iona's a good team. Obviously, Rick Pitino has been here and done that. Their coach, he won a championship in 2013 with Louisville. I don't know if it still counts because it's been obviously lots of stuff has happened since then. I'm taking UConn. UConn is a very good team. Big East year was very good. You got Marquette, who is probably the shot of possibly even going to the Final Four. They're really good. UConn's very good. You got Providence is in there. Creighton's a 6 seed. Very good. Big East is the best it's been in a long time. So I got UConn. Number 6, TCU. They're going to play the winner of the first 4 games between Arizona State and Nevada. I got TCU. I think TCU is a very good team. They don't got to play Georgia, which is good. We don't know what happened in football. So I got TCU. Number 3, Gonzaga. Number 14, Grand Canyon State. I'm taking Gonzaga. This isn't the team that, you know, like every year looks like they can win the whole thing, but they are still really good. They can still score if anybody. If they lose to a school called Grand Canyon University, that's actually really funny. Number 7, Northwestern, and number 10, Boise State. I'm going with Northwestern. I like Northwestern. They're a very good team. I'll take them. I have number 2, UCLA beating, I don't even know who they're playing. UNCA. UNC Asheville. I got the UCLA Bruins winning. Okay, let's go to the second round now. In the South Division, you got number 1 Alabama against number 9 West Virginia. I spoke earlier about how I like West Virginia. Obviously, they got one of the greatest coaches of all time, Bob Huggins, over there. And, you know, well, I said, you know, them getting out of the Big 12 will do them a lot of good. Because the Big 12 is stacked and they had a really hard schedule. But Alabama is the best team in this tournament. I got Alabama winning. That should be a very good game, though. Number 5, San Diego State against number 13, Furman. I have Furman winning. I have Furman. This appears to be my Cinderella. I have them going to a Sweet 16. I have them beating San Diego State. I really like Furman. They're hot. They had a great year. They're one of the best offensive teams in this tournament. I have them beating San Diego State. Then you got number 3, Baylor against number 11, NC State. I got Baylor winning. Baylor's really good. They're one of the best teams in the best conference in college basketball, Big 12. I really like Baylor. I got them winning. Number 2, Arizona against number 7, Missouri. I have Arizona winning. Arizona's a great team. You know, they're in the Pac-12 tournament. Take a pick between them and UCLA if you think the best team in the conference is. I would say Arizona. Missouri, you know, they did. Utah State is a pretty easy matchup in the first round, I think. I just don't think they'll be ready for Arizona to jump at them, so I got Arizona winning. On to the East Division. Number 1, Purdue against number 8, Memphis. I got Memphis winning. Purdue's a great team. Definitely a top 4 team in this tournament, arguably. But every once in a while, they have hiccups. They lost a couple of games to some teams they easily should have rolled over. You know, they almost blew that game against Penn State, who was lucky to even be there in the Big Ten championship. I really like Memphis. I got a big upset in Memphis over Purdue. Number 5, Duke against number 13, Louisiana. This is where the Raging Cajuns run ends. I got Duke winning. I just don't see Duke, a program like that, you know, losing to, you know, a Cinderella like the Raging Cajuns. That is a great name, though. The Raging Cajuns, that's a phenomenal name. Whoever came up with that name needs a raise. Number 3, Kansas State against number 6, Kentucky. I got Kansas State winning. I said earlier, I don't think Kentucky has in them for a deep run. I think they sneak out of the first round. I don't think, Providence, kudos to Providence. I'm very happy that, a team in Connecticut were, kind of close to where I go to school here, Sacred Heart, is in the tournament. Kudos to them these last 2 years for being a lot better than they have been in recent year, but they were not as good as they were last year, Providence. So I think Kentucky gets by them. I don't see John Calipari losing for a second straight year to a Cinderella. I like Kansas State. I have them winning. And then number 10 USC is number 2 Marquette. I got Marquette winning. Marquette is a dangerous team. I got them beating USC. So I got in the Midwest second round. Number 1 Houston is number 9 Auburn. I got Houston winning. Houston's a team I think is built to play well in this tournament because they're very good offensively and they are one of the best defensive teams in this tournament. Very well coached by Calvin Sampson. So I got Houston moving on to the Sweet 16. Number 5 Miami is number 13 Kent State. I think Kent State's run ends here. I like Miami. I think they're really good. I got Miami winning. Number 6 Iowa State and number 3 Xavier. I got Xavier winning. That should be a really good game. I really like both teams, but I like Xavier a little bit better. I'll take it. I'll take Xavier. Another Big East team is having a nice year. Number 2 Texas is number 7 Texas A&M. Should be another really good game, but I'm going to take Texas. Texas is a great team. To the West, number 1 Kansas against number 9 Illinois. I got the defending champions Kansas. Moving on. Number 12 VCU against number 4 UConn. VCU's run ends here. I got UConn winning. UConn's a really good team. And number 2 Gonzaga against number 6 TCU. Number 3 Gonzaga, number 6 TCU. I got the Wildcats winning. They've been here, done that. They're very experienced in this tournament. I got Gonzaga. Number 2 UCLA is number 7 Northwestern. I have UCLA winning. And then moving on to the Sweet 16. To the Sweet 16. Let's go to the South. Number 1 Alabama against number 13 Furman. Furman's my Cinderella, but the run ends here. Alabama moves on. Alabama's just too good. We got number 3 Baylor against number 2 Arizona. I got Baylor winning. I really like Baylor. Third team out of the best conference in college basketball. Arizona did win the Pac-12. Great game, but I got Baylor sneaking out. Going to the East Division. Number 8 Memphis against number 5 Duke. I got Memphis winning. Memphis continues their crazy run. They go to the Elite 8. Memphis, I think, is a really good team. I think they're built to win. I think they could have been a little bit of a higher seed. I think the committee got the seed a little bit off. I got Memphis in an upset there. Number 3 Kansas State with number 2 Marquette. I'm really happy Marquette having the year that they have. They're a dangerous team, no doubt. But I do have Kansas State beating them. Kansas State's a really good team. I got them going to the Elite 8. To the Midwest. Number 1 Houston with number 5 Miami. I got Houston winning. Houston, teams that go far in this tournament are teams that are, teams that are really good on both ends. Houston definitely is. I got Houston winning. You got number 3 Xavier against number 2 Texas. I got Texas winning. Texas had a great year. They fought through adversity and everything that happened with Chris Beard. They move on. On to the West, you got number 4 UConn against number 1 Kansas. I'm taking UConn. Kansas, I thought, got exposed a little bit in the Big 12 tournament. I think teams are going to realize that. I don't think they get back even close to the national championship that they won last year. And repeating in March Madness is almost impossible. So I got UConn winning. UConn's also really good. Number 3 Gonzaga against number 2 UCLA. I got UCLA winning. Gonzaga is not as good as they are in past years, so I'll take UCLA. Now to the Elite 8. East Division. Number 1 Alabama against number 3 Baylor. I'm taking Alabama. I am taking Alabama. This team is really good. They can score of anybody. They can defend. Love what Nate Oates is doing. I'm taking Alabama. Let's go to the East Division. Number 8, Memphis. My Cinderella in this year's tournament. I have Memphis going to the Elite Eight against number 3, Kansas State. I have Kansas State winning. I think they're a really good team. Kansas State to the Final Four. On to the Midwest. Number 1, Houston against number 2, Texas. The top 2 teams. I have Texas winning. I got Texas winning and going to the Final Four. That should be anyone's game now. And in the West, number 4, UConn against number 2, UCLA. I got number 2, UCLA. I really like UCLA. I know some people have their knocks on them, but I think UCLA is really good. I have them going to the Final Four. So, my Final Four. Alabama, Kansas State, Texas, UCLA. Number 1, Alabama against number 3, Kansas State. I have Alabama winning. I think they just overpower Kansas State. Number 2, Texas against number 2, UCLA. I have Texas winning. I think Texas nicks UCLA in the national championship. I have Alabama beating number 2, Texas 82-78. Will any of this happen? Probably not, because I suck at this. I think everyone sucks at this, to be honest, but I really suck at this. But I don't know if anyone beats Alabama this year. They are best team in this tournament. They're so good. I feel like there's any year where I say, oh, I don't see anyone beating this team. They lose from like the Sweet 16. But I'm picking Alabama over Texas in the national championship. That is my bracket. That's all I got for you guys today. I will be back tomorrow. You know, I know I've been doing Thursdays, but I'm going to start casting on Thursday once again. So Monday through Friday, you'll be seeing me for the time being. Until next time, so long. Have a great day.